everybody. I'm Katie Evans with the Living 48 Real Estate Team. I am so super excited to be here with my new friend. This is Jamie. And Jamie, I'm going to butcher your last name, so I'm going to have you say your last name because I'm really bad at that. But so tell them your last name.
Sure. I'm Jamie Podratz.
Awesome. And Jamie is with the Save the Family Foundation here in Arizona. And Jamie and I met at a fundraising event not too long ago. And when I heard her story and I heard what they were doing over there, I was like, oh my gosh, my people have to know about this. Sorry, I talk with my hands a lot. So I'm like, my people really need to know about Jamie and know about what this foundation is doing. So for those of you guys who don't know my background, my degree, I actually had a teaching degree. I'm no longer a teacher, but I had a teaching degree for elementary and early childhood education. But my graduating class was the very, very last graduating class that graduated under the Family Home Life Sciences department. And so a lot of my education, a lot of my classes were all about family science and just everything that touches on the family. So the family has always been like so near and dear to my heart. In fact, it is the single reason that I got into real estate, believe it or not. It's a little backdoor. I'll tell you the story some other time. But what Jamie does, she just started talking and I was just like, oh, I was on fire. I was so excited about it. So that is the reason that I brought Jamie on today to tell you guys a little bit about herself, a little bit about her company or the company she works with. And that was why she, to me, was the perfect choice for our Share the Love segment, our very last Share the Love segment for the year of 2020. And so I'm hoping that this is going to live on and live hard through the end of the year and also into next year, because as Jamie and I have been talking, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities to be very charitable and help her organization next year. So Jamie, do a brief introduction of yourself and your company, and then we're just going to start talking. So go ahead and introduce yourself and introduce the Save the Family Foundation in Arizona.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Katie. I'm so glad to be here and sharing with you about Save the Family. I am the marketing and outreach manager for Save the Family Foundation, and I have been with the organization for about 2.5 years. We are actually transplants from the Midwest, moved here just like so many other people, and looking to get away from the snow and be closer to family. And so we've been down here in Arizona for about as long as I've worked for Save the Family. The organization, however, has been around for almost 33 years, and serving in, based in Mesa, but serving across Maricopa County. And the focus of the organization from the very start has been on families. So there's a connection there for sure. And we really are focused on providing housing and supportive services to families who have experienced homelessness. Yeah. So the way the organization works is we're not an emergency shelter. We're kind of that next step after shelter. Families come to us, they're placed in an individual apartment or house or townhome. We've got a few hundred housing units all across Maricopa County. We place families in there first. We operate kind of a housing first model, they call it. So get families stably housed, and then you can deal with everything else, that led to homelessness.
Right.
And that's really it. We are trying to provide the housing, the supportive services, the case management, a whole host of wraparound services for every member of the family so that they can move on from the trauma of homelessness as a family and individually, and can be on a good path to self-sufficiency. And so this family never experiences homelessness again.
Right. So when I met you, there was just this phenomenal woman that came with you, and she actually had gone from needing your guys' services all the way through, and now she's working with you and providing these services for others. And I thought her story was just such an excellent story about how a family gets to this point and how she specifically got through it. And I wish, and we'll have to have her on another time where she can share her story, but just in a nutshell, and you kind of add in with me here, my memory of her story was that, she was married, her husband made some maybe not so great choices that led their family into bankruptcy, and here she was now, this this mom. Her husband ended up being incarcerated. She was this mom who still loved her husband, was doing everything that she could to hold her family together, but because of this incarceration, she lost their only income. She had not been in a position where she had been working at the time. So she was trying to keep her kiddos together, keep what she could together for her family. And so they ended up homeless because they had pretty much had lost everything because of this incarceration. But man, this gal was a rock star and a fighter and like my hero. Like, just literally, I look at women like her and I'm like, this girl, she's a hero, you know. And she pulled up her bootstraps and she did what she needed to do to keep her family together. She found you guys in this as an organization. You helped her find jobs, but being the kind of woman that she was, you know, she was not just going to sit back and accept what was given to her. She was always looking to improve. And so she went through different training with you guys. She took advantage of all the opportunities. And when her husband came out of incarceration, they did everything that they needed to do to continue to work on their family, to continue to work on their marriage. And here she is, full circle now, come back and work with the organization. And she is like the ultimate success story. So tell us how many people you guys serve per year, and kind of if there's any other stories that are similar to that.
You know, that the woman that you met is Renee, and she is an absolute rock star. She is mom of two, came into our programs, 5 years ago, and to this point, has just rocked it. And she is one of hundreds of families that we encounter every single year. Yeah. Last year, we served 587 families.
Wow.
Yes. And in the coming year, we expect to serve around 630, probably more. I mean, really, the way things are going, we know we're kind of looking down the pike at a big influx in need for our services. And really what we find is that the vast majority of these moms, of these parents, are just like Renee. They have encountered kind of the 1-2 punch of crises. As parents, we are always, saving and trying to make sure that we're doing the right thing and budgeting and making things, good for our families. And what we find is the same thing is true of these families. It's not that they made terrible decisions, or there might be paths they have gone down that aren't necessarily right, but everyone is in the mode of wanting to do what's best for their kids. And that is what we see time and time again, is that families that have had a couple of major disasters or emergencies, typically it's a job loss and then a hospitalization, or the loss of a family member. And really it's that combination of factors that leads to homelessness. And Renee is so inspiring because she came into our programs not necessarily knowing a whole lot about her own skill set, or wasn't confident in budgeting, for the family, and doing it alone when, worst came to worst, she had to do it all alone with her 2 kids. And she did it. And that is such a common story. We had last year, almost 60% of our parents increase their income during their time with us. And they're not with us very long. The average stay at Save the Family is about 7.5 months. So families they come in and they get settled, they get situated. We kind of wrap our arms around them and do our thing. And we walk alongside them as they just get back on their feet.
Yeah, I think that's what I love most about your guys' program is this is not a handout. It is truly a hand up. Like, you guys are really, really helping families to not become reliant on you or reliant on any system or reliant on anything, but to truly help themselves so that they can continue to progress and continue to move up in life rather than just stay stuck in a cycle. And again, that is so near and dear to my heart, so near and dear. So, Jamie, we have just had a year from, oh my gosh, where. that has really landed a lot of families with a 1-2 punch. You know, we've seen a lot of businesses shut down or be forced into shutdown or cutbacks or laybacks, or, you know, I think statistically right now, the majority of people, if they don't have a paycheck for a month, are like a month away from severe financial crises within their families. So I expect once a lot of these government help programs for what has happened in 2020 go away, that we're going to see a lot more of this kind of coming down the pike for you guys next year. So tell us what we can do to help. Tell us what you guys are expecting. You know, just give us some opportunities and some understanding about what's coming for you guys and how we can best help.
Sure. Well, you're right about the fact that, you know, we know with this COVID situation and the economic kind of fallout from what's going on in our public health arena, we know that we're going to see an influx in needs. So unfortunately, family homelessness has been on the rise even before the pandemic. Here in Arizona, we've seen growth year to year over the last few years of families just kind of being squeezed out of affordable housing. And we knew we had an affordable housing kind of issue here. But now this is that 1-2 punch with, you know, we were looking kind of one disaster away from a major crisis, and here we are. We're expecting between a 15 and 30% rise in the incidence of family homelessness in the coming year. So now is the perfect time. You know, if you're feeling like, gosh, it's hard to help right now, it's hard to get out and volunteer, it's hard to, you know, be out there and really feel a part of things right now, when we need to be safe and be sure that we're doing everything we can to minimize contact. So there are some things that you can do, though, to be connected to this work. So you can check out our website, savethefamily.org. We've got a whole host of ways to just invite people in. We have opportunities to do volunteer projects or donation drives offsite. So if you're not comfortable, you know, doing something, you know, at Save the Family or at, you know, a housing unit, that's fine. We absolutely understand that. And we want to make sure that people have ways to engage. So we have lots of needs right now. We know we're going to have lots of families moving in to our housing units in the coming weeks and months. So a donation drive for household goods or hygiene items or shelf-stable foods, kind of all of the things that you need when you're setting up home. Most of these families are coming to us after living in their car or living, you know, camping out on somebody's living room floor or living in a shelter. So really the stuff we do need, the household items. But perhaps the easiest way to get involved and make a difference is to make a donation. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. So, and this year, especially kind of recognizing the needs that organizations have, the CARES Act includes a $300 above the line deduction. So even for folks who don't itemize, you can claim a deduction above the line on your charitable donations. And then we have the Arizona state tax credit too, that offers up to $400 for individuals making a donation or $800 for married couples filing jointly. We're one of those organizations where you can get a dollar for dollar credit against your state income tax.
Yeah, you guys, that just honestly, it's like a no-brainer. If you're going to get it right back, why would you not do something good with it? You know, it really is a no-brainer. So yeah, that's something that my husband and I do every single year is make sure that we maximize that charitable giving opportunity, because it comes right back to us. I mean, it just really makes sense.
Yeah, it's a really rare and cool instance of being able to control your tax dollars, really.
Yeah.
It's unique in that way. And it ends up making a huge difference for us. When you look at, you know, kind of what it costs to house a family, what it costs to provide these supportive services, a $400 donation or an $800 donation really goes a long way for a family.
Yeah.
So great.
Oh my gosh, that's so wonderful. So one more time, tell them where they can go to find you guys.
Yes, so you can find us on all of the social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And we are also online at savethefamily.org.
All right, so you guys, www.savethefamily.org. It's not hard. We want you guys to go check out their websites. I know that I'm involved with a lot of people who are always looking for, like, where can I go? What can I do? And we're looking for service opportunities. And this last year has been one of those years where it's been difficult to find them. So let me give you this wonderful resource and this wonderful organization that you guys can support in so many different myriads of ways. So www.savethefamily.org, and this will connect you with opportunities. But again, yeah, go connect with them on social media, go find out what they're doing, go share them and this video with your friends, with your families. It's just such a great, great organization. And this is a hand up, not a handout. And that is why I am so in love with this organization. So I love their success stories. I love what they're offering to families. I love that it's all about homes and all about houses and all about that as well. So you guys know how passionate I am around that. So Jamie, I just want to thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Any last words, any last thing that you would want to share with any of my friends out there that they ought to know more?
You know, it's really just a huge thanks to you and to our community. It is only by the grace and generosity of folks like you that are, you know, we're able to house these families. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I invite you to connect, and I just look forward to staying in touch. So thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, you guys. So if for some reason you didn't write it down, you can't remember, you know where to find me. I know where to find Jamie. And of course, this video is going to be housed on our video blog on our website. So you can always go find it again there. It'll be on our YouTube channel, it'll be on our social media sites, and it'll be on our website. So worst case scenario, go find us on our website, www.living, Living, the number 4, the number 8, realestate.com, and you'll be able to find this video and all of Jamie's information. And of course, if you can't, you'll have all of the contact information for me. I'll show you where to find it all. But my invitation to you is take an opportunity, take advantage of these tax credits, help families stay together. This is so, so important in my mind. So Jamie, thank you again for being a part of our Share the Love video series, and we sure love what you guys are doing and support you in it. So you guys, we'll catch you on our next Share the Love video segment. Join us again, and again, go out there, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you guys, and we will catch you on our next video series, okay? Have a great one. Bye.
Bye.